Bartholomew, and this is Lichess Plays. It's another lovely Sunday. We have 50 plus challenges here in the queue. Let's get fired up here. Accept random challenge. 58 challenges to be precise. Okay, now I am interested in this. I have to adjust my layout slightly. I was actually playing around with this before we went live. I'm recently back in town. You might have noticed that last week's Lichess Plays for me did not happen. I was at the U.S. Masters tournament in Charlotte, North Carolina, and I came back and I found my layout was slightly different. So forgive me while I try to adjust that. I was trying to do this before stream, but you never quite know how it's going to look when you go live. So some minor adjustments are needed. I think this is largely okay. Yeah, if I move it slightly, things get repositioned though. That's probably about the best it's going to get. I know it probably doesn't look much different on your end, but I'm like an absolute perfectionist. So I think we're good to go though. What's up, Boom Shakalaka? D-Web says classic OBS, just changing things for no reason. Yeah, you're right. It could be OBS. It might not be Lichess because Lichess seems pretty much the same to me. But my capture, for whatever reason, on OBS is like slightly different than it was before. Like, we're talking by pixels, but I can notice it. I think it's fine, though. We got everything in view. Hello, Crooked Rooks. Long time since I last streamed. Yeah, I did stream on my personal channel a couple days ago. Played a Lichess Bullet Arena, but it has been a while. I was out of town for almost a week, and I didn't intend for it to be that long, but I had some trouble getting back home. There was a snowstorm here in my state in Minnesota, and I was supposed to come back Tuesday night from the Charlotte tournament, and I ended up not being able to get out till Thursday morning. So basically stayed an extra day and a half, which was cool. How was Charlotte? Charlotte was awesome. Yeah, highly recommend checking out the Chess Center if you guys are ever in that neck of the woods. They have, in my opinion, like the best chess scene in the U.S. Now, I know what you're thinking. You're going to say, what about St. Louis? Well, yeah, St. Louis is great, but what Charlotte has done is, in my opinion, even more impressive because they've done everything organically. And, full credit to St. Louis. There's a tremendous amount of chess going on there. But what Charlotte has done just by themselves with community funding and building their reputation through tournaments, events, community outreach, tons of scholastic programs, in my opinion, is incredibly impressive. But that being said, St. Louis and everything Rex Sinkfield done is amazing as well. There probably wouldn't be much chess to speak of in the U.S. if not for Rex Sinkfield and St. Louis. Hello, Diffuser. Excellent Lumberjack. Yeah, I was thinking about you guys when I put on the Lumberjack shirt this morning. I was like, I got to bring it back for old time's sake. Shout out to Sharp Richard, by the way. They're playing a good game. I am trying to win a pawn here. I'm going to try to take this. I probably made some questionable decisions here. I was somewhat autopiling, but Sharp Richard playing well. Almost matching the board. That is correct. You are correct. Should I jump this up? I guess I could do it, but I think their knight's coming to f6. I'm looking for some way to continue pressuring them. Maybe here? Maybe introduce this. You're in STL and have yet to visit the club there? Oh, you definitely should. You definitely should. It's a great facility. H4? Queen here, queen here. I guess I'll go for a trade. Yeah, greetings to our viewers on both platforms, Twitch and YouTube. Hello, Hammer Thomas. Hello, Sharkbait. What's up, Copatiousness? Yes, this is on Twitch as well. We are simultaneously streaming on both platforms. That is correct. Doesn't seem to be on Twitch, really. Nope, we're on Twitch. Maybe refresh. We are definitely live on there. Okay, let's hurry. I've been waiting for Sharp Richard to blunder, but Sharp Richard is not blundering. I really got my work cut out for me. But anyways, I missed you guys. It's good to be back. Had some people at the U.S. Masters actually tell me that they watch Lichess plays every week. So that was cool to hear. Let's go F4. Okay, this is the first move where I'm like, maybe Black's losing the plot a little bit. Because I feel like that pawn's going to get cut off. I can play F5. My knight is always nice here at guard C2, so Black can't come down and pin. Okay, let's go here. I guess Black could go back, but no time for Black. So we're going to pick up the pawn. Sharp Richard is an excellent username. There's a weird bot spamming on your YouTube. I have heard that. Yeah, I've gotten a couple emails saying that there's been like scam bots telling people they've won giveaways and stuff. Extremely disturbing. Suffice it to say, if you ever see something like that, you know, some creator on YouTube apparently reaching out to you in the comments saying you won a prize, 99.9% chance it's a scam. Ignore it and also report it, please, if you see that ever. Not even just on like my channel, but other channels as well. You see these bots on YouTube, like even in the live chat. Thank you, Sharp Richard, for the game, by the way. You played very well. That opening was, I'd say, substandard for Black, but I don't think I punished you in any meaningful way. I mean, you played some awkward moves, but you really dealt with the pressure quite well there. So, GG. You were probably pretty close to equalizing. Thanks for the game. Okay, Taktik. Up next. Just as a reminder, anyone can challenge. It just has to be 3+0 blitz. Casual or rated. That's the only stipulation. 3+0 standard blitz. Hello, Lopare. Greetings. What's up? Yeah, I didn't see it when I checked out my video the other day. Taktik, are you there? Maybe not. Okay, moving on. You can always re-challenge. Applehead, hey, good to see you. Let's play E4 in this game. It literally happened to you yesterday on Gotham's channel. Yeah, there's some pretty sophisticated ones. One scam that I ran into recently, this is more of like an IRL scam, that was actually quite clever. So I got a text like on my phone saying, this is UPS, and we tried to deliver your package, but we were unable to. Click this link to request redelivery. And fortunately, I realized what was up. I got suspicious of that. But I think the way this scam works is like, because so many people order stuff like on Amazon and have deliveries. It's just like a scattershot approach with these scammers. So they assume like people are waiting for packages. You know, a lot of people they text won't be, but a fair amount will be. And will be like, oh, like I want my package. Of course, I'm going to go enter my information. And when you do, they like request your credit card details at some point, saying you have to pay like a small fee. What actually got me suspicious about this one is that they were requesting VAT to be paid. VAT tax. Europeans will know what that is. But as an American, like I've never ran into a package delivery where I need to pay VAT. Like that's just not a thing. So I was like, okay, this is a scam. But because I moved recently and I've been having trouble like changing my address and also getting some stuff delivered, like my first thought was not that this is a scam. My first thought was, oh, like actually there was a problem with my package delivery. So unfortunately in this day and age, you got to be pretty vigilant. Suffice it to say, like if any service that you haven't encountered before is asking for your personal details, especially anything banking, credit card related, do your due diligence and be very, very careful because it's almost certainly a scam. Yeah, we don't have that. That's right, Crooked Rooks. Okay, playing Applehead here. This is an interesting move. I wonder if Applehead is going to go here, though. I should probably be a bit careful. Can I play this move? I'm going to try this, and there's a bit of a trap here I'm going to attempt to lay. Because this move looks tempting, right? But then I think I can take here, check. Force knight takes g8, and then take the queen. And I win a little bit of material. Although not even, because black gets 2 pawns for the piece, or for the exchange. But I'd be okay with that transformation, because I already knocked out a couple pawns on the king side. Okay, that's a funny comment. What's up, No Joke Chess, by the way? JR Magnus says, they get me so angry. The elderly are the primary victims. Yeah, I know. It's really sad, man. The world we live in, that people target vulnerable people in particular. Okay, let's go here. So that was kind of a cool in-between move to diffuse black's attack there. Oh, yeah. Good point. It was material for me because they didn't get a minor piece out of it. Yeah, so I am actually just up, what, a rook? Yeah, just up a full rook here. Okay, take. I'm going to take here, just so if check, I can block. See, I get those calculations wrong sometimes, especially if I'm doing them quickly. I assume that was an equal trade for some reason, but black only got 2 pawns and not a minor piece. I don't know why I thought that. Okay, let's go bishop f4. Kit Boga is a YouTuber who trolls the scammers. Great entertainment. Yeah, I've watched his channel before. Haven't watched it so much lately. But he goes to great lengths to troll scammers back. All right, thanks for the game. Appreciate it, Applehead. That was a fun one. Yeah, instructive little moment there. Do watch that queen takes g7 motif, though. This is all standard theory, actually. And the move here is f6. We can look at the Masters database. f6, universally played. Universally played here at master level. Never play f6, except in cases where it's theoretically justified. So that stops this, and often it goes, if I remember, like, how does it go? Bishop e3 or knight bd2 first, here. And then black can often castle queenside, I believe. Yeah, I think they do this, and then queen e7, and then they castle this direction. Okay, thanks for the game. Matt Sanner, you're up next. We played one game before, Matt Sanner. Okay. e4, let's play Sicilian. Let's play d5. This is one of the stronger moves there. How are the tactics today? Well, given that I just thought there was an even trade when I was actually winning an entire piece, I'd say I might have my work cut out for me today. But that's good news for you guys. You can attempt to take advantage. I found it funny that you referred to a text and a phishing website as IRL. Yeah. I guess I mean initiated through text versus like on a website or something. Yeah, my pleasure, Albuhi. Thanks for the game. Okay, queen d6. Go e6. Now, I don't like the structure for white because the d4 square is pretty vulnerable. So even though I may not hop the knight in yet, I can use this square in the future and also just generally play down the d file. Like the d pawn also is going to be pretty weak here for white. Hello, Richard. No, I have not seen the video yet, but I'm close to watching it. I'm close to finding the time to watch it. Okay, d4, interesting. So Matt is trying to solve the issue of that square and the pawn tactically. So if I take like with my pawn, I guess the idea is here. Perhaps. I mean, I could take with the knight, something like this. I probably come out ahead there. Yeah, let's take this way. Because importantly, after knight takes, queen takes, my queen will be helping to guard g4. Maybe I could take on f3 first, but I think I like this way better. There's kind of wacky moves like knight d5 here. I don't know that works, though. Maybe. Interesting. Yeah, knight d5 might have actually been working there. Crazily enough. Queen takes b2, knight takes e7, king h8, and then bishop takes g4. We'll check that after the game. That might have been winning material for white. Hello, Buzzer, by the way, says, hey, John, I just came back from an OTB Rapid tournament. Awesome. Hope it was a good experience for you. Let's go a6. A lot of those scams tell you to use the Telegram app. Oh, yeah. Yeah, Telegram, WhatsApp. I mean, just be careful out there, folks. Be very, very careful. I feel like these scams are on the rise, too. If bishop takes, I'm going to take here, by the way. Trying to like trade on my own terms, get white to play queen takes g4. All right, so we're up a clear pawn here. Probably just double. Rook d7. Get ready to stack the rooks. We're going for 2 hours today, folks. So settle in. Challenges are randomly selected. Everyone has an equal chance. I think you could just exchange queens in that variation. Even if knight takes e7, that knight is trapped, I think. Yeah, true. That might be the best line for black. But probably white can win a pawn back at minimum, right? So if that's a good line for white, I kind of regret going for that variation, even though it did work out. Okay, if I go here, queen e5, bishop d6, because this looks shaky. This looks shaky for white. There's also knight e4, because this is guarded. Knight e4 might be decent here. Yeah, I think I like knight e4 even better. Let's do it. Oh no, my g7 square. John, what do you make of chess boxing? Didn't know it was a thing until Aman signed up. Yeah, I actually saw Aman at the U.S. Masters tournament. And I was asking him a little bit about the fight and whatnot, because he's fighting Lawrence Trent coming up. Oh, white can go here. Good point. I don't know. Should be interesting. Yeah, I'll definitely tune in. I think there's 2 chess boxing fights, right? Or like 2 fights involving chess streamers, people that you guys would know. There's Aman and Lawrence, and Dina Belenkaya versus Andrea Botez. If I'm forgetting any other fights, let me know. But I think those are the 2 fights featuring chess personalities. Is Aman even going to hit weight? Look like it to me, yeah. I personally don't have much of an interest in doing boxing. Thank you, Matt Sander, for the game. Appreciate it. Let's check that knight d5 moment real quick. Yeah, so right here. So I am walking into the line of fire here. It looks like a weird move because of queen takes b2. But yeah, that is the move. Black is slightly better. Thanks for the game. Oh, that was someone else who said that, but nonetheless. GG, thanks. Yeah, knight d5. And then, okay, so I should play queen takes here, take. This is what I was calculating. And then here. But as someone mentioned in the notes, who was it? Was it D-Web? Yeah, this knight is trapped. So probably I can scoop it at some point. But that was not part of the plan, necessarily. But yeah, I guess black might retain some small advantage. So pretty good little moment there for white. I do wonder how I should deal with d4. That's an interesting move. Rook fd8, rook ad8. Engine suggesting not even taking it. I saw this. Knight takes d4, but I assumed bishop takes b7. Is that bad for some reason? Okay, I guess it just likes black here. Black's better centralized, although white does win the pawn back. Interesting. Okay, thanks for the game. Some good games here, guys. You guys are putting up some good fights. Yerna 69. Let's do this. I'm going to play an English opening against you. The English opening. JR Magnus says, I'm a bit disappointed Maurice Ashley isn't participating. I'm fairly certain he has professional fighters in his family. Yeah, I think his sister is a former professional fighter, maybe even active professional fighter. So she's a boxer. Also, for his commentary, Maurice would probably be a good commentator for chess boxing. Have you heard anything more about some exciting upgrades to Lichess? Inside information to us. No, I can confirm that I do not have any inside information on Lichess. I think they actually pride themselves in that fact. I'm sure a select amount of mods and movers and shakers in the Lichess community know about features and whatnot before they come out, but by and large, like what you guys see on Lichess is transparent for a reason. They built it that way. So no, I don't have any information about features to come, but I'm always curious because Lichess comes out with cool stuff. Maurice is over 50. Don't know if he's very keen on boxing. Oh, yeah, I don't know if he would actually be interested himself, although he's in very good shape from what I see. I mean, to me, even with headgear on, you can get really messed up. So, and I'm in pretty good shape physically, but I have bad knees. So boxing is a lot of like footwork and stuff. I probably wouldn't be a good candidate to do it. So I'd probably pass on chess boxing. Canty would do well in chess boxing. Yeah, he'd be a good candidate. He probably has his eye on it in the future. James Canty is another guy I saw at the tournament. Oh, I also spent quite a bit of time with Daniel Naroditsky. I know many of you guys watch him as well. I felt really bad for him because he was one of the co-leaders of the tournament pretty late into the event, like round 6, round 7, perhaps even. But he had to miss the last 2 rounds because he got pretty ill. He came down with some sort of virus. It wasn't COVID, but it was something that like really sapped his energy. And yeah, he had to withdraw and he missed the last day of the tournament. But after the event and after he had recovered, I got to spend a little time with him, which was cool. He did a couple quick draws in the last 2 games. Yeah, you could tell his energy was kind of flagging. Yeah. Okay, so black's being solid. If I take here, then the queen trade is initiated. Let's just see what Yerna does. I want to try to make Yerna make a tough decision. So h4. Okay, now I think I get this super outpost on d6. Only slight issue I see is that this pawn is a potential target. So like maybe knight b4 there would have been black's best chance. e5 I don't think I'm as concerned about. Probably just take. And then knight d6. Monster knight. Oh, interesting, Igloo Kid. Yeah, I'll be very curious about this tutor feature on Lichess. That's cool. I think I heard something about that. They maybe did an announcement about it at some point. Now let's pivot and attack this pawn. That's an aggressive comment, Johnny Cricket. Hans versus Magnus main event. That would break some records. That would definitely break some records. Can you imagine? I think they would have to pay Magnus a substantial amount of money for that. Probably Hans too, but mostly Magnus, right? Like, you doubt they'll go through with it? Lawrence definitely pulling out? Really? Why do you say that? I know he landed in LA, which is where the event is taking place. No, I don't foresee Lawrence pulling out. All right, let's scoop this. I guess they're going to go after the pawn down here, but I think taking this and then coming over should be good. Yeah, just get behind the pawn. Looks like a technical win. Black can wedge the pawn to a2, but my pawns are too dangerous. Now, the thing is, you just don't want to expose your king where they can check you. So we'll exercise a little bit of caution here. I think I'll simply play c6. I'm okay with trading like the a pawn for the c pawn, let's say. But it's probably not even going to come to that. Yeah, now I can push here. Let's give it... Oh, check was actually bad. Black could have taken that pawn. I should have promoted instead. But now we can promote. Okay. Thanks, Yerna. What do we think about this middle game here? I mean, you're definitely worse here, but maybe you have a chance to play knight b4 specifically. I think that's more or less your only chance. Otherwise, you're getting strategically squeezed. Brilliant. Rook a6. I don't know about that. Rook a6, I think, was actually a bad move. Poor technique. King takes c7. I like that you guys in the comments are lauding my moves. But yeah, that was a blunder. Probably still winning for white at that point, but I would have to be a lot more cautious. I might have to play like h5, king f3, like start working my king up this way. All right, thanks for the game, Yerna. Let's just check, though. Oh, you guys were kidding. I see. Got it. Sarcasm in the internet. Hard to detect sometimes. So what about knight b4? I guess it's nothing impressive. Probably at minimum I could take and then play knight takes a3. Yeah, it also says knight d6 right away is good. That looks a little... Oh, because of rook c4 trying to trap the knight. Ah, that does trap the knight. That does trap it. Nice. All right. Thanks for the game. Appreciate it, Yerna. Let's keep rolling here. Who's going to take me down today? Steamed Rice. Good luck to you. Let's play f4. John never blunders. It was all a psyop. Thank you. Thank you, Blakari. All right, let's go here. So we have a birds opening. This is like a reverse Dutch, if you want to think about it that way. My friend Peter Giannatos from the Charlotte Chess Center played a number of Dutch games against me in the past week. Kind of coming around to this opening. Doesn't have the greatest theoretical reputation, but I think it's pretty legit, personally. So how do I want to play this? Like knight c3 or knight bd2? Or do I play a3 first? I feel like... Oh, no, probably c3. I think c3, then knight bd2, because I think you want to roll out any sort of knight b4 business. Yeah, I think this is the way to handle it. Oh, that's a mouse slip. Meant to put the knight there. And that would have been beautiful, because I'd be all loaded up for this. All right, well, we're gonna improvise now. We're going to go a4, knight a3. Just a different pattern of development. Hans would do it for 100 million. Yeah, I don't think you'd pick that number randomly. Royalty. Okay, let's play king h1. I feel like tucking the king is pretty helpful in a lot of these positions. You just make sure you're safe here. Sodium attack delayed variation. I think you're right about that. Naka versus Eric Hansen would also net huge numbers. Yeah, I think Naka versus anyone would get huge numbers. I mean, Hikaru versus Gotham Chess, probably. I don't think those two would ever fight. But that would get huge numbers as well. I don't know. Never say never, I guess. If the number's right, I think you could see almost anyone in the chess world fight. Okay, how to play from here? I kind of abandoned the whole e4 plan because I put my bishop here instead of the knight. I like this position. Maybe I can take and go knight here and try to bait steamed rice into taking twice. Whereupon I'll play bishop f4, which actually traps the queen. Doesn't even just win the exchange, it traps the queen. The sodium attack knight is somehow very powerful. You're right about that. Okay, now I can play e4. That was a nice benefit of having played knight e5, is that my bishop's opened up. I'm tempted to still do this. I think this still might be a pretty legit idea. Oh no, my knight. But there's here. What if black takes on e4 first? That actually doesn't change anything, funnily enough. I could move this knight too and then try for e5, but where to move it? Because if here, there's take on e4. All right, let's play this move. B5. Okay, let's go here. John, any advice on getting Iverson anxiety? Iverson anxiety of starting a new game? I assume that was a misspelling or misword, like Allen Iverson anxiety. Oh, over anxiety. Ah. Oh, that was not the square to go to. Yeah, I think that's a common concern. Like, am I prepared enough to play a chess game? If you want, maybe start with some of the bots. Play the computers and the bots. There's a series of bots on Lichess called Maya. Maya 3, 5, and 9, I think, are their usernames. MAIA, and then 3, 5, or 9. Those are human-like AIs. You might find it less pressure to play them. But, yeah, the main thing is just not trying to judge yourself too harshly for making mistakes, which you will inevitably do. I'm going to give the rook on e1. I don't really care about that, or that rook on f1. Don't particularly care for it. But I have seen people with like a graduated process of playing the bots and the computers first kind of get over that anxiety. They start playing humans after that. And go here. Hello, happy accident. Greetings. We're going to take the knight if it lands here. And then we're just going to push the d pawn. And also, in terms of the preparation aspect, just know that you will never feel fully prepared in chess. Chess is an absolute rabbit hole of a game. There's always stuff where, even if you studied an opening or something for dozens of hours, it's possible that you will encounter lines and have some anxiety about feeling underprepared, even at that point. Happens to the best players in the world, too. So don't sweat it. All right, thank you for the game, Steamed Rice. That was an interesting one. Bishop d2 was unintended, but we kind of made it work. I think this is a pattern of development that happens in this opening from time to time, like bishop here, a4, knight a3. Because with the pawn on c3, the knight has to go here or here. So I kind of think somewhere around here you might have lost the thread a little bit. I'm guessing after b4 you should probably take. Nope, apparently not. Engine likes just keeping the tension. I don't know, queen e7 to me seemed a little odd. I didn't like that move for you. Probably still fine, though. Looks like you're doing all right even here. That move, though, maybe going backwards, not the best. Yeah, and after f5, I'm really gaining some momentum. So the idea here, folks, is if queen takes e5, I play bishop f4, and black's queen is trapped in the middle of the board. Looks like you can play e4, take e4, and then consider capturing here, because my bishop on d2 will be undefended at the end. I didn't calculate this line, but evidently this leads to some interesting play. I'm down 2 pawns, but the engine likes white. Knight d7 going after the rook, or maybe f5. Okay, thanks for the game, especially for your rating. You played very well, Steamed Rice. Yeah, I'm not surprised to see your Rapid and your Classical much higher. If you played Blitz regularly, perhaps like a slightly longer Blitz time control, no doubt you'd be way higher than your rating. So, good game. Ooh, we're up to 96 challenges. Greetings, everyone. Good luck, R squared. Let's play D4. Maybe like a pseudo Trumpowski. The only redeeming feature of this move is that you hinder the E6 move. Let's optimistically pre-move bishop takes D8, just in case. All right, plays there. Now I think we want to take. Double the pawns. I'm gaining a lot of time in the opening. That's promising. Oh, this is your favorite opening? Interesting. Yeah, you get into some maneuvering battles out of this. I'll go C4. Could also play this more slowly. But E6 is bad. It blocks on the bishop. Right. That's the real reason E6 on move 2 would be bad. Oh, so at this U.S. Masters tournament that I was at, I think I mentioned to you guys, but I wasn't playing the tournament. I was doing like commentary on people's games. Not like main commentary, but like people could bring their games and I would do, I guess it's more like game review. This was mostly applicable to the lower sections. So people could bring their games and get them analyzed. I gave a couple lectures, and I also did like an IRL Lichess plays almost. It was like play the master blitz. So people in the tournament could come and just challenge me to 3-minute. And that was really a good time. And some people said that they watched Lichess plays regularly and got to challenge me in person. But there was a funny moment where I played a guy. He looked like a college-age dude. And we had a normal game. He was really nice. I ended up beating him. And then I played a couple more people. And then, like, the same guy came back and played me again. And he kind of, like, what I thought, he kind of jumped the line. So I was like, I was joking. Because no one said anything, even though there was a lot of people, like, waiting to play. And there was kind of an order to it. But I was like, oh, like, you're coming back for more punishment, huh? And he looks at me. He's like, actually, that's my brother that you played. And I look up, and his brother's, like, standing right by the board. They were identical twins. And they really did look identical. I think first time in my life, like, I played a pair of identical twins, especially in such a short time period. And, you know, I immediately thought, like, that could be really dangerous in a tournament atmosphere if someone was unethical, right? And, like, one player was better than the other. One of the twins was a lot better. Like, you would never know. Okay, let's take. They would make for a good bishop pair costume for Halloween. Yeah, you're right. They would, wouldn't they? Also, they were pretty tall, so that would be perfect. I'm trying to set this up if black goes rook d8. In the Olympics, there was such a case in some running competition. Ah, interesting. One is always better than the other. You know what's interesting, though? With siblings in chess, especially if they're close to the same age, it's actually remarkable how close in rating they usually are. Like the Muzachuk sisters, both grandmasters, one former world champion, they're still extremely close in rating. I think both over 2,500. Identical twins would play exactly the same. Yeah, they would play the same openings and everything. I don't know. Maybe one would be super positional, strategic, and the other one would love wild attacking chess. You never know. Okay, I could have taken this pawn on b7. Probably should have. But this is winning. We're up a boatload of time as well. Thank you, R Squared, for the game. Yeah, so I think you burned a little bit too much time navigating some of these decisions in the opening. Usually if black plays this way, they go like bishop d6, c6, castles, f5, knight d7, knight f6, and then you can use the e4 square. As played, I was confused why you just gave me the d5 pawn. Maybe you got your wires crossed here, but I am double attacking that pawn, so got to do something about that at this point. Probably just capture. Okay, thanks for the game. Imagine them playing in a tournament against each other. Yeah, people would be walking by. They'd be really confused. Unless they check the pairings. Good luck, Hypesin. Which brother was better, or were they identical in rating? They were pretty similar in strength from the one game that I got with each of them. They were pretty similar. Not true for Pragnananda and Vaishali. Is Vaishali older than Pragnananda? I feel like she is. But she's pretty strong in her own right. I want to say she's like 2,400 or something, right? I've noticed, okay, so like siblings who play chess often are pretty close in strength. But if there's a parent who plays chess, very often I feel like the child is like lower rated. Especially if you've like heard about them. Maybe there's like some survivorship bias. But if you look at a lot of like famous strong players, IMs, GMs who have like a kid who's also like active in the chess world or maybe notable in their own right, I feel like the parent like tends to be better. Not in all cases, but in many. Prague is 17, Vaishali is 21. Okay, so she is older. Magnus' dad plays. Yeah, I guess Magnus and his father don't prove that rule. Yeah, Magnus's dad I think is like a 1900 or 2000. Yes, also Hikaru and his stepfather. Right. Now you guys are going to cite all the examples that disprove my theory. Isn't that the case with Ben Feingold? Yeah, exactly. Yeah. His son Spencer's, I think, a national master. Pretty good. But Ben is stronger. Right. Theory debunked. Don't listen to John. Even with siblings, like it's tough just from, I think, a motivation or interest standpoint. Like I have a younger brother. He's 4 years younger than me. And he could have got good at chess if he wanted to. Like I'm pretty confident about that. He played a little bit like in high school and even played one tournament when he was in elementary school. But he just never really had the fire for it and the desire that I did. And I think part of the reason is like maybe he saw how into chess I was and how all consuming it was for a period of time in my life. And maybe he just decided at some point, like, nah, I have other interests. I don't want to like go all out in chess. And maybe he was kind of comparing himself to where I was and what would be required to get there if he wanted to pursue that same path. Like, I think that sort of thing's pretty common. I've told this story on stream before, but the one tournament my brother played, it was our state elementary championship. I think he was in like 4th or 5th grade at the time. And it was a 7-round tournament. He started off really strong. He started off 4-0. He was crushing people. And he got a little cocky. He got a bit too big for his britches. And in the 5th round, he got 4-move checkmated. Yeah, he got scholars mated, and he was done like in a minute. And that, I think, completely broke his will. That actually might be the defining event as to why he never pursued chess. Because I remember he was like totally shook up. I probably should have checked. Oh, no, that's covered by the knight, so that was fine. Okay, let's go here now. Getting scholars mated or suffering a quick loss OTB is pretty disastrous for your psyche. Your brother chose to have a life? Exactly, right. He made a good call. Okay, this is mate in 2. Queen G7 coming. Okay, thank you, Hypesin, for the game. Yeah, your position was always a little bit loose here, I felt. Like, typically, if you play this whole Rogozin bishop b4 system, you're going to want to challenge my bishop a little bit quicker, like h6 here. Often they end up playing c5 pretty soon, too, to try to create some tension in the center. I think the way it went down in our game, you basically got like an inferior Queen's Gambit declined where you've traded the dark square bishops. And even the slight activity you got on the queen side with the queen out on a5, I think you're just much, much worse here. I have the 2 center pawns against your none. I have the bishop pair. Yeah, bishop a6, the engine suggesting here. I like that move, trying to swap. Probably have to do something like that to try to trade down a little bit. Okay, thanks for the game. Let's keep rolling here. DJ Ness, good luck to you. What can I glean preparation-wise from our previous games? I remember this one. This was tough. Okay, you're definitely a good player. Let me handle with care. John, what book do you recommend to get better at chess strategy? Ooh, that would depend, I'd say, a bit on your level, Buzzer. What's your rating? Let's play c5. This is some weird, like, Alapin style thing. All right, now let's take and play d5. If white establishes the 2 pawns here, much like in an Alapin, you don't want to let that stick around for too long. Best to challenge those pawns right away, if you can. I don't know, though. e5, knight e4, there is f3, so maybe I can't do that. I probably should play here. Yeah, let's go knight g4. That is backed up by the bishop. Try to force this guy to move again. Tafaska asks, do you remember all Lichess plays games? That's pretty impressive. You know, I remember games frequently if I click on them and like kind of scroll through the moves, but I can't like recreate them without some context. But yeah, I do remember quite a few, like if I start clicking through it. Some details of like who was playing, when it was, that starts to come back to me. You're about 1800 rapid OTB, trying to get a classical rating currently. Okay, so you're pretty good. I would say, although these are a little more on the higher rating spectrum, this recommendation, Mastering Chess Strategy by Johan Helston is really good. That's one that I've learned quite a bit from. The Complete Manual of Positional Chess. I've recently reread that. I really like that. There's a little book by an author named Israel Gelfer called The Positional Chess Handbook. That's also quite good, like bite-sized positions. It's an interesting move. So if I take here, they'll take here. I hate to defend that pawn, but I might have to. All right, let's play bishop e6. This move feels kind of ugly, but I'm going to play it. Gruten's strategy for club players. Yeah, that's a good one as well. Yep. Thank you, Boom Shakalaka. Gruten, Grooten. I think Dutch author. Could take here. If I take there, take, knight takes f3, that checks out. This looks interesting. I feel like I might get wrecked somehow playing this move, but I'm going to do it. John, are you still going for your GM norms? Or are you taking a break from that? Yeah, so I haven't played OTB in a classical tournament since 2019, but I'm constantly thinking about making a comeback. It's definitely on my radar. Important in-between move here, by the way. And I would like to make another push at some point. I just don't know when. But yeah, I would like to make another push. How about you guys? Are you guys working on your Grandmaster title? I know some of you out there are. We get some title players watching. They tend not to talk in the chat, but there are title players watching this. They're often too cool to like write a message in the chat, but shout out to them. Okay, so white is going after this pawn. Let's play d4. Let's open this baby up. Yeah, interesting game, right? Hypezor says, I'm working on my 2000 Blitz on Lichess title, currently 1800. I love it. Just remember, if you get to like 1990, 1995-ish, just stop there. Don't try to make a push for 2000. Because as we've discussed many times, this should be gospel for you at this point. It's better to be a strong 1900 than a low 2000. Think about what garners more respect. So think about holding off on that 2000 push if you do get up to the 1900 range. This is interesting. I mean, white's trying to knock this pawn out, but I'm now up a couple pawns. Wait a minute. You're just going to let this hang? I don't believe it. I don't believe it. All right, I'm going to take here. I know this knight is hanging, but I'm happy to make that trade. I think this is going to be a pretty straightforward win. Make DJ go passive. Push. Attack. Thrust. Trade. Eviscerate. Annihilate. Bring about resignation. Humiliate? No, no humiliation. Just checkmate. All right, thank you, DJ, for the game. Discombobulate, yeah. Decimate. You know, the word decimate, doesn't the word decimate mean like destroy 10% of something? Like deci? All right, thanks for the game, DJ. Much appreciated. That was tough. I think it was kind of competitive up through maybe the time pressure you're experiencing like around here. Maybe castles is not correct. Maybe you should go like rook a7 right away. Oh, reduce to 10%, not destroy 10%. Uh-huh. Leave 10%. Okay, that makes sense. I knew it was something with 10%. Wait a minute. Now I got to look it up. Okay, I guess colloquially it means destroy or remove a large percentage of something. Historically, yeah, destroy 1 in 10. 1 in 10. Okay, so I was correct about that. Yeah, very interesting game. I wonder, when I played knight takes d4, is that a sound decision? Wow, Engine loves your position here. I think that kind of makes sense. My knight was bopping around. Wants me to play f6 here. Sorry, Ben Feingold. f6, attack the center. Yeah, I can kind of see why, because I don't know. Somehow around here, like knight c3, I think was a great decision. Just let me take. I wasn't really interested in capturing there. Typical thing, by the way, guys, I can't take here because after takes, queen takes, there's bishop b5 check. Always watch for that type of tactic when there's pressure on d4. So knight c3, very classy move by DJ Ness. Okay, but it doesn't like queen b3. Knight takes d4 is all right there. It says simply castle and sit on your space advantage. Thanks for the game, though. Tough one. You're always a tough player. Oh, Schrodinger's queen. All right. We have a mixed history against Schrodinger's queen. I've gotten the better of them recently, but they've definitely taken me down in the past. I think I usually play Sicilian, so I'm going to do that again. Yeah, we will play classical. Yeah, we played this before. I'm pretty sure we've had this line in the past, but I remember it turning out well for me, so I'm happy to repeat if Schrodinger's wants. Was our last game a blindfold game? I think that one was the blindfold game. Yeah, that was the blindfold game. This is the game Schrodinger took me down in. That was very well played. I remember this one. That was a while ago, but I do remember that one. Okay, so b5. This is a favorite of Grandmaster Kozul. Zdenko Kozul, Croatian Grandmaster. Is Croatia still in the World Cup? I certainly know the U.S. is not. Oh, this is 3+2. You're right. Thank you guys for drawing that to my attention. Yeah, Schrodinger's, just make sure if you're challenging in the future, no 3+2. You snuck that by me. That very sneaky. Very sneaky. Okay, let's go here. They played Japan. Okay. Interesting. When is that game? Maybe Agad Mator will make a recap about it. I got to admit, I did not watch a single minute of the U.S. and the World Cup, or the World Cup in general, I should say. Should I remove my 10+10 challenge? Are you trolling me, West? Yes, please don't challenge me to 10+10. I will have to abort if I get that challenge. All right. I guess I'm going to have to be okay with my king rolling in the center. The reason you won last time is they did not have an increment. Ah, maybe that's why Schrodinger's challenging. Yeah, good point. Good point. Sneaky guy. I think this position is a little sketchy for me. I don't quite trust it. My king is on the move. Yeah, c4. I did see this move. I thought check, but it's a little bit shaky. I'm not liking it. Might have to like try to sacrifice a pawn or something here. Like a5. Feels kind of weird though. Bishop c6 is very passive. I don't like that. I think I am going to sack a pawn. Let's do it. Queen takes b5. We're just going to have to allow this. Hey, what's up, Mateo? Good to see you. Thank you for tuning in. Yeah, Zdenko Kozul, I like his games a lot. I learned to play the classical Sicilian looking at his games. He's a beast. He's been playing the same opening for like 30+ years. It's crazy. Okay, so how am I going to play this? I kind of think I might want to go a4 to start. But I also somewhat need my king in the action. So I'm not sure. Let's play king e7 first. I'm going to try to get Schrodinger's in some time pressure because I need to get them to make some mistakes. John, do you dislike time controls with increments? Not especially, no. However, for Lichess plays, we got to keep it going. So 3-0 is the time control that we use exclusively. I normally abort games if I see it's not 3-0, but I didn't notice this time. I'm trying to play a4 just to stop white from playing a4 at some point. Okay, maybe rook here. Yeah, I guess we'll go here. Tricky. Could go here, but after takes, there's bishop c2. I don't know how I feel about that. I guess we'll play it. Now, if take takes rook c1, then I have bishop a2. So that one I'm not concerned about. They're somewhat giving me this pawn, though, too. But I guess if I take it, they have some counter arguments. All right, let's go here. I feel like I need to use my bishop to blockade for the time being. Hey, thank you, Mark. Appreciate it. Rook e4. Rook e4. What if I go here? What if? What if? I will try it. This does risk a check, but I'm going to trust that I'm okay at that point. Complicated position. I mean, I'm down a pawn, but there's some annoyances for white. Like, these pawns are pretty weak. Back rank is maybe weak. Very complicated. If bishop c2, I can take here. Yeah, definitely take now. I think that was a mistake by white. Still very complex. White might not be worse, but that felt like a mistake. Okay, there is rook takes a4 playable. There. This is tricky. I'm going to go here. This move might be playable, which looks bizarre, but I wouldn't be surprised. Yeah, it does play it. Okay, let's take here. And then I will take here. Okay, so now it's even material. White has the pawns on the outside. Obviously, I have the inner pawns. Still very complicated. I feel like I need to keep the pressure on, so let's go here. I'm going to lose now, I think. Shoot. Yeah, this is losing. Rook a8. Or rook c8. Now promote. Oh, didn't play it, though. Wait a second. I think white just messed up there. White messed up big time. We're back in the action. This is anyone's game. Might be a draw now. Might just be a draw. All right. We'll accept. Yeah, White was completely winning there. Could have promoted with check. Right here. But I think Schrodinger's got excited. Was 36 rook b4 working? That's what I played. That's what I played. But I think I'm losing here. Yeah. I don't know. I guess I might be significantly worse still in this ending. Yeah, this is one of these moments, like, I saw rook takes a4, but I didn't see a better solution. I was hesitant to play rook d7 because I didn't want to allow a further trade, in which case it might be hard to cope with these pawns. This is still possible. Although, interestingly, the engine says this is a better endgame for me. Better than the game. Interesting. Okay, so, yeah, might be just a faulty line in the opening for me. Knight g8 is the best move here. Okay, if I had to play knight g8, I don't like my queen b6 move. I'd rather just castle or something. Probably castle. All right, thanks for the game. But yeah, Schrodinger's, make sure you're challenging 3+0 only. All right, next game. Ponza chess. Good luck to you. He felt bad about 3+2 and showed mercy. That might be the case, yeah. That may just be the case. Let's play an Alapin. I recommend this line to a lot of people below about 2,000 on Lichess. I think it's quite a good practical variation. You often just get these two pawns side by side. Black can get steamrolled here if they're not careful. Knight e5 runs into f4, and that is a trapped pony. So black goes all the way back. Let's go here, just see what black does against this. Will Ponce play knight f6, or I was thinking maybe f6 also? They're rooting for you. Dave Bees is rooting for you, Ponce. Okay, now watch what's going to happen. Black's going to go bishop g7, and then I'm going to play g4 and take away the knight's retreat. That's what black has to be paranoid about, and it would be such a natural move to make. Maybe Ponce sees it. They're not playing it yet. Good job. But this is a tough position because white has such a big space advantage here. Let's just try to build up. Like maybe I'll flirt with knight b5. Ooh, but now I can take this one if I want. Also, I think this is still pretty darn strong. There's also check here. Ugh. Yeah, check is even the most straightforward because knight d7, e6. Bro, accept my challenge. I want to play and go to sleep. Well, that's rather demanding of you. Also, challenges are accepted randomly. And there's no priority given. Let's do this move. Can't take the queen. And if bishop gets captured, queen takes h8 checkmate. John, how do you decide when to trade queens versus avoid trades? I know that if my king is exposed, it's better to trade queens. Is it also a matter of playing style? Somewhat playing style, yes. Although in general, if the endgame situation favors you or you're getting attacked, then yes, you want to look for a queen trade. So there are some definitely context-related things that drive those decisions. A queen trade almost instantly increases the margin of safety for both sides. So I've used the queen trade a lot defensively. Some people just like playing without the queens on the board. I would say more people like playing with the queens, but it can be a little stylistic too. I believe players under 2,000 probably shouldn't be playing Sicilian, says Hamar. That's an interesting take. I mean, I disagree for sure. Ooh, I see a brilliant variation. Guys, this will be sick if this works. I can't resist. Look at this. I think this works. Rook f7, rook e1. It's going to be checkmate if black takes. Now, black can play king g8, but then I can play rook takes e7. King g8 is such... Oh, come on. Okay, but actually it's not so simple after rook takes e7 because there's knight h5, knight f5 rather. Knight f5 forks. I might just have to play knight e6 here. The pedestrian knight e6. Yeah, I think I should just move this in. Take with the rook. We'll just end up taking here. There's also knight d5 on the way in some cases. Although I definitely don't want to play knight d5 here. So we'll just take. There's always the chance you can look cool and they'll play f5. Pre-move. All right, let's trade queens now. Here's a good offensive queen trade. By trading queens, I secure my d7 pawn. I get my knight up the board. Big reason also to trade queens, of course, is you're just ahead in material and you want to trade down. Okay, I think I have force mate. Knight f6, rook takes, rook c8, rook f8, rook takes f8, king takes f8, d8 equals queen. That's made in what? 1, 2, 3, 4? I announced made in 4. If king h8, there's rook takes h7, Arabian mate. Now, I could go here, but I actually think, well, yeah, that might like prolong the game slightly. So I think this variation is nicer. There we go. Every move is so strong. Thanks for the game. Yeah, so against the C3 Sicilian, those of you who watch Lichess plays, I don't want to see you misplay the C3 Sicilian from the black side, the Alapin variation. The two strongest moves are D5 or Knight F6 on move 2. To avoid getting a worse position, conventional wisdom, long-established wisdom, is that you must challenge the E4 pawn. If you play D5, this is like a Scandinavian, but with these two moves inserted. That should benefit black in this case, as much as I love my Scandi, because white does not have Knight C3 here. In Knight F6, you're hitting the pawn. You're trying to get them to stagger the pawns like this. This is a structure where even though white has established pawns on D4 and E5, you can start chipping away at it easier than you can against the E4, D4 structure. But yeah, when you play some routine moves, Knight C6, D6, E6, when you play some routine moves against the C3 Sicilian, it's pretty remarkable how quickly black gets a bad position, because the momentum of these two center pawns is real. Just to show you what I was calculating on Knight G5. And this position is completely winning, but it's a nice little move. Knight G5 check. Hey, top move of the engine. There we go. So if black takes, I was planning this. And this also is force mate. Check. And we're coming in hot on G7. Take. Queen takes. King here. This is mate. And if here, check. Yeah, and actually, we don't even need to play Queen G8. There's just direct Rook E8 mate. So that would have been fun. E5 refutes the Alapin. Menno was commenting sarcastically earlier. E5 is a common move you'll see. Kind of a weaker move strategically, I think, because there's a weak square on D5. If white goes Knight F3 and then D4 soon, maybe Bishop C4 thrown in, white's usually better here. All right, thanks for the game. Wow, we're still at 88 challenges. Love it. Foxtrot, good luck to you. Let's play Knight C3. Van Geet's opening. Why don't you think players under 2,000 should avoid Sicilians? Well, I think that's quite a broad rating range. I mean, 2,000 is a pretty high bar. I think players under 2,000 can definitely play the Sicilian well. I have some students in like the 16, 1700 range, for instance, who play it very well. And it's one of their stronger openings. I think a typical progression is you start out meeting E4 with E5. And you get used to playing these like symmetric games, Italians, Re Lopez's, all the random gambits that white throws against you. And you kind of get bored with playing that, defending that at a certain point. And then you look to branch out to something like the Sicilian. I think that's a fine progression. I mean, the Sicilian is like a hallmark chess opening. It's like one of the Cadillac openings in chess, let's say. And I don't think there's a reason to avoid it after you're already pretty decent. Thank you, Foxtrot. Thanks for your kind words. Okay, little pattern here. I think I can trap their bishop. G4, bishop G6. This is, again, like using the momentum of the pawns. F4, F5. This pawn is guarded twice because of our bishop on E2. So we're buying time to push those pawns forward. Mobile pawns are the bane of minor pieces' existence in the opening. Minor pieces can really get shoved back by mobile pawns. And yes, I'm weakening my king slightly, but black is passively placed enough where I don't see how black takes advantage. This is kind of similar to the Noah's Ark trap in the Re Lopez. Yeah, Caro-Kann's fine too. Pretty much any mainstream opening is fine. F5 still traps the bishop, so let's go for it. John, how would you summarize your teaching philosophy or approach, if it's at all possible to summarize? Oh, wait a second, guys. Are we going to have an oh no, my queen moment? Get Eric Hansen on the phone. Or not Eric Hansen, Eric Rosen. Ping him on Discord. Yes. Oh, you love to see it. Knight e6, mate. Thank you, Foxtrot. Thank you for being accommodating there. Oh, that was a rated game, too. It says, wow. We have to ask. Come on. You had to have been a little suspicious when I gave you my queen. But from the wow comment, it sounds like Foxtrot probably missed the knight e6 move. He's speechless. Foxtrot is speechless. You dodged the question. Oh, no. Sounds like a very nice person. Oh, yeah, okay, they did miss it. Okay, GG. It happens. It happens. Yeah, that was a cool ending to that one. But honestly, the position was already losing. King D7 was, but yeah, King D7 was illegal. That's very important. So I think in this line, Foxtrot, you want to play Bishop E7 and then castle this way. It's usually how Black treats this Ham Philidor. Had to wipe away the tears first. You guys are cruel. Shout out to West. No, thanks again, Foxtrot. But that was a nice little line there. But that's the power of the mobile pawns, right? So do watch out for that. Connected pawns that can advance, gain tempi on the minor pieces. Dangerous situation out of the opening. It could be tears of laughter. That's correct. Yeah. All right, next game. Hypesin again. Are you bribing the algorithm, Hypesin? Good luck. Oh, thank you, Daniel. Yeah, thanks for watching since 2013. Greatly appreciate it. All right. We have a Jobava player here, I assume. Let's play C5. I'm going to offer to take it into a Benoni. Oh, how would I summarize my teaching philosophy? Yeah, sorry. I was going to ask that question, and then we got distracted by that beautiful line there. I would say I focus on the fundamentals and, first of all, trying to establish a solid base for the student where they can get to a point where they're playing largely blunder-free chess, not making major tactical mistakes. I think that is so important at every level. And you can't really get into the fun stuff in chess until you have that base. And you can try to play gambits, you can try to play attacking chess, but you're going to fall flat on your face a lot if you're prone to just blundering a piece at any moment. So, yeah, I really preach like solidity and playing safe, secure chess, just being able to play like baseline good moves before you get too fancy, before you do any deep endgame work, strategy, positional play. Once you're at that point, then you can start working on those aspects and also improving your opening repertoire. This is trouble for Hypesin because I'm going to pick off this pawn on e4. Foxtrot is one of Genesis's best albums. I like Genesis a lot, but I'm not familiar with their albums, really. And now the d5 pawn is weak as well. This is trouble. a5's a little overextended, it seems. I can pick that pawn off. Now, I would lose e7. Do I care about that? I don't think so, because take here, there's going to be a price to pay on e2, I think. Might be playable. Might be almost playable, but it looks super dangerous. Okay, so Hypesin goes there. Let's play rook e8. What is my favorite album, John? You mean of like any artist? It's kind of sad. It feels like albums are sort of a thing of the past nowadays, right? People don't really think in terms of albums. Even me. I mean, I didn't exactly grow up in that generation, although I can name some. It's tough. John is mad about that 3+2 draw and now crushing everyone. You might have a point, Nick. What songs are on Foxtrot? Now I'm curious. What notable Genesis songs? Any advice on finding a coach? Yeah, definitely check out the coach section on Lichess, lichess.org/coach. There's a huge directory there. Look for coaches that have reviews, obviously, ideally some samples of their teaching, like YouTube videos and whatnot. I think that would be a good thing to do. Ask them a few questions about their approach. Depends on your level, too. Yeah, all of Hypesin's pawns are collapsing. A pawn's going to run. Oh, the lamb lies down on Broadway. Uh-huh. Got it. I think just push this pawn. Why not? Let's keep the knight. Preserve the knight. Trap the rook in. Bishop b2 and then here. Okay, thank you, Hypesin. So this line is playable, but it's a little bit tricky. I do think you have to handle this precisely. So here, typical thing white does. After knight bd7, anyone know? Not sure it mattered too much in the game, but if you play bishop e5 check and then they block, there's a move that white usually follows up with at this point. Not e5, no. A5? I think you mean a4. A4 is the move. Yeah, usually white does this move, because after a6, you actually want to keep the bishop. So let's say you go back to e2, Hypesin. It's better to retain some minor pieces here for white, avoid trades, because I'm a little bit cramped. I always think about the Benoni. Black has one too many minor pieces for their structure, mainly because these pieces are stepping on each other's toes. So if you play it this way, I can't go b5 safely, and you retain your bishop. I have to work a lot harder to unwind here. So I think especially bishop takes d7, I really dislike that move. I think that's not in the spirit of how you want to play it. Yeah, even here, a4, the engine is calling for. Black's already significantly better after this. Okay, thanks for the game. Wow, that's a brutal eval. But that's what happens. I mean, you play a couple inaccurate moves and things start to collapse. Okay, Bob Noto, good luck to you. Let's play d4. Oh, The Lamb Lies Down on Broadway is actually a Genesis album? Interesting. I didn't know that was an album. Let's play a Jobava London. I think my first Jobava London of the day. Yeah, Hypezor, you, aka Hypesin. The algorithm really likes you today. One too many minor pieces for the pawn structure. Is that normal for the Benoni? Yes, it is. It is normal for the Benoni. Absolutely. Am I going for GM? We shall see. Undecided. Not anytime soon, but maybe in the near future. Like in the next year or so. Why play Benoni then? It's a good question. It's a good question. No, I mean, the Benoni's fine. It's a little risky. It's a little risky, but it's definitely playable. It knocks white off balance. Actually, on Lichess, if you look at the Lichess database, very often in amateur games, black is meeting d4 with c5, an early c5. Much more so than at master level. It has some merit. Pre-move 1 c5. A lot of people do. They really do. John, do you like other types of music for chess, classical, rock, metal, or other? I don't really listen to music when I play chess, but I am a big fan of classic rock. I do like classic rock quite a bit. But I listen to a little bit of everything. I was listening to some Rick Ross the other day. It was pumping me up. Okay, let's take with the knight. I feel like I might be able to use this square in the near future. A3 or C3. This bishop is looking suspiciously out of squares, you know? Let's see how I want to do this. Let's go A3. Thank you, West. Well, if we ever meet in person, West, we can both wear our flannels. John is the king of Cole's Cash. That's right. Cole's Cash is a great way to reduce the impact of inflation on your budget. Should I play a flashy move? Boom. Always fun to sack your queen. We get it right back, though. Knight's not going to get trapped. Has a couple avenues out. Costco $1.50 hot dogs are also inflation proof. Yeah. That's a famous one. Arizona iced tea. Oh. I got cocky. I dropped the bishop. Bob Noto snatched that up with the quickness. Okay, it's a game. I'm still up on the clock. But that was a pure piece blunder. A pure blunder. A bona fide tactical mistake. Let's be careful here. A4 is a good move, too. Causing some problems. Because A3 is pretty annoying. I got to figure out how to neutralize that. I need like a trade or something. This is a very craven move, but I'm going to play it. No, there was no deeper idea to that one. Let me tell you. It was a blunder. Okay, let's take. Bob Noto needs to roll the dice and just play A3. Yep. So I think I'm going to win this game, but I don't really feel like I deserve it after that bishop E3 atrocious move. I'm not even like better in this position. He's going to win the G6 pawn. I have to dirty flag him. It's the only way. I'm sorry, Bob. Streamers got to do what they got to do. Okay, thanks for the game. Yeah, I just straight up missed that knight takes E3 was possible there. All right. I was riding high on queen takes B7. Thanks for the game, though. I think meeting this whole pawn storm with H5 is a little dubious. I think you should play H6 instead. Most of the situations I've seen out of this opening kind of feature this type of situation, or sometimes white takes with the C pawn. I don't know. I feel like C6 in the Jobava London is not the best use of a move because it justifies the London bishop being on this diagonal. So maybe rethink that. One of my favorite openings of the Jobava London Did you guys know it got the name by Mr. London? I did. I did know that, actually. Yeah, Jonathan London died of dysentery in 1887. All right. Thanks for the game. Sallybovich, let's go. Good luck to you. 1899. All right, Sally. Let's play Karakhan. Oh, yeah. Sallybovich is strong. Adhering to the rule perfectly. 1899. I mean, just beautiful textbook rating control. Not going over 1800. Still in the 1800s. Sporting a very intimidating rating. Okay, I feel like we might have played this before. This has a lot of theory. I think White's like slightly better in these situations. Nothing special, but it can be annoying. But I feel we've done this song and dance before. What is good rating for you? You mean me personally? I mean, I think for Blitz, I'm a little low right now. I do play a lot of arenas and, of course, Lichess plays. When I play Bullet, I berserk a lot. So I don't really play to protect my rating so much. I almost never play like just pure matches. Why do I never play Alekhine's? I kind of forget to play Alekhine's defense. I'd play it like once, maybe every 30 games against E4. But honestly, I kind of just forget to play it. Very strong 2500. That's right. That's right. You know what's up. Okay, I'm doing the minority attack. This is an absolutely bog standard plan in these positions. Now I think I'm slightly better. Sally didn't manage to get anything going against my king. Although I'm going to be cautious because that statement can probably backfire, as it did against Bob a moment ago. Can we challenge you Bullet? You could, although I'll abort the game if I see that it's Bullet. So I would not recommend. Yeah, we exclusively do 3+0 on Lichess plays. John, what is the best way to test visualization skills? You know, I think if you're solving tactics the right way and being diligent about trying to translate that calculation into your over-the-board chess or serious online play, your visualization will improve naturally. You can try blindfold chess if you want. I don't think training blindfold specifically is worth it, but some people think it is. But if you're approaching tactics like they're substantial decisions in a real game, I think that's good enough for visualization. Because over time, you're going to naturally start seeing more and more, deeper and deeper. Okay, I'm going to win this pawn. I'm thinking about f6 at some point to kick the bishop. Will you go to GM? We really need to create a command for that. I'm thinking about it at some point. All right, little test for Sally. Knight e2 threat. Oh. Thanks for the game, Sally. So I think if you're going to play this way, you got to bring the queen back to c2 a little bit earlier. From the games that I've seen, White does this voluntarily and then knight e5. And tries to get a little more play going on the king side. Yeah, what did you play? You did play knight e5 here, so where would a good moment for that be? I mean, I guess on the Masters database, this is just a highly drawish line. Yeah, maybe a4 thrown in somewhere. That would circumvent the minority attack or make it harder for me to set that up. I don't know. Somewhere around here, it felt like you just played a little too routinely. And I think after b4, you're already in some trouble. Because I'm coming after those pawns. That structure. Okay, thanks for the game. Mennonite, you're up next. We played twice. Okay. What have I not played today? Let's play B3. Have fun. Good luck. I'll field your GM questions for a small fee. Oh, well, thank you. John, does playing Bullet actually harm your chess in long games? Asks Juca Oliveira. I don't think in general it's going to harm you very much, but I also don't think it helps you. I think it's probably neutral. Unless you have really bad habits, like you're just absolutely binging and playing for hours on end, which I guess a lot of people do. But no, I've never felt like people say this about chess teaching as well. They're like, "Oh, you're gonna harm your play by teaching." I've never really seen that to be the case. I'm not gonna claim it helps, but I don't think it hurts either. Should I take here? Actually, becoming a GM could also be a solution to all the questions. That is true. If only it were that easy. Oh, thank you, Robert. Shout out to Robert Ramirez. I think he has a well-known channel as well. Appreciate it. Thanks for your kind words. How many viewers do we have today? I didn't even check the viewership. All right, we got almost 200 watching on YouTube and Twitch, 236. Okay, excellent. Yeah, we have a very strong challenge to viewer ratio. Is there anyone in the chat who's not challenging? I guess there almost certainly is, because although it shows 50 challenges, it's more than that, but it's not in the 400s. Holly says me, KRV. Okay, you guys need to send me a challenge. Come on. Too tired? Don't worry, it's not going to help even if you're arrested. Come on. Send me a challenge, folks. My username is Fins, F-I-N-S. It's not too late. Too scared? All right. El Ultimo Hawk is playing poker. Steve Sutton says me. Ilya also not challenging. Nick not challenging. Robert not challenging. Come on. It's not so bad. Okay, now I got to be cautious. Bishop h2, but I was going to trade here anyways. And if queen takes, I think I can swipe this pawn. So I would expect pawn takes. No, it does take with the queen. Is there any reason not to swipe the pawn? I don't see so. This is defended down here. So I'm up 2 pawns now, right? 2 pawns. This time control is too fast for me. Okay, that's an honest answer. Yeah, some people get freaked out playing 3-0. If you're like a beginning player, this would be quite fast, for sure. Especially playing a title player. I am afraid I will lose in 4 moves and abandon all GM hopes. All right, so this queen is kind of well placed. That's the one thing about this. I'm going to go here. Maybe look to attack the f-pawn at some point, but I can't double so easily because, again, I do lose this as soon as I attempt that. Let's maybe put this here first. I think that's reasonable. Mennonite is winning? I don't think so. I think they've got their work cut out for them. Ilya says, I like 3+2. Are you Schrodinger's queen by chance? Yeah, I actually played a 3+2 tournament in Charlotte. That was the event that I played in. I didn't do all that well. I was 3-3. It was a 6-game tournament. Oh, I got to hurry up here. But I played some good players, including Mikhail Antipov, Grandmaster Antipov. Wait a second. I should take it with a pawn if it takes. Keep this defended. But that tournament was 3+2. Okay, I think Mennonite might have some drawing chances here, but it's going to be a time scramble. Gonna be a scramble. Probably still close to winning for me. Little bit tricky, though. How do I win this? You know, we got to try. We must attempt. It's a good defense. My pawns are annoying because they're not doing anything. Let's get this one up here, first of all. Okay, this is progress. Now I can go check, and we're going to get the rook to d7. Very important. Okay. Okay. Now I think I'm winning again. Can I make it on the clock? Pre-move? Little pre-move? Hurry, John. Go. Okay. We barely made it. GG. That was a tough one. One of the tougher games from today. Definitely. I think you put up pretty good defense. I didn't do anything special. I didn't demonstrate any special technique right around here. Despite being up 2 pawns, my structure's a little wonky. So I think I misplayed it. I mean, this whole concept of taking with the pawn, although if I take with the rook, I lose the d-pawn. I don't think queen f4 is going to win me any move of the year awards. That looked pretty weak. Build a bridge, Lucena. Yeah. The reason you skipped last week's Lichess plays. Yes. Yeah, I was on the road. I couldn't do it. I know you missed me, Lopare. I missed you. Okay, good defense, Mennonite. So probably that opening was questionable. I think around here, you got to be kind of cautious. Looks like castling might be the thing to do. A few games here. Because after this, it does seem like I can take, and that's how I went up the 1 pawn. Okay, thanks for the game. We are down the home stretch here today, folks. We are stopping at the half hour or so. Yule, okay. Let's play e4. So we'll still have a chance for maybe like 3 more games or something. 3, 4. Scandi player here by Yule. You got this, Yule? Yeah, Yule, you rule. Let's go. Let's play the main line. C4. Okay, queen e4 I think is suspect. I think I can simply develop with tempo against that. You got to go queen a5 check or queen f5 right away. All right. Let's think here. Let's play bishop e3. There's ideas like knight h4 too, trying to take advantage of this and this, but bishop takes e2. I'm simply going to develop for now. Let's castle. Yule log. I think it's pronounced Eule, German for owl. Could be. Is he from Germany? He is. Nice. Good call. Like Euler? Yeah. Yeah, maybe. That crosses my mind too. Shout out to Riemann's hypothesis as well. Or Riemann's, if they're in the chat. Frequent Lichess opponent. Okay, e6. Again, I feel like I should be able to punish this somehow, but I'm not quite seeing it. I kind of want to sack my queen. It looks interesting. Should we do it? Let's do it. This is Lichess plays. Let's go. Let's do it. Because if takes, knight d4 hits like a sledgehammer. Hits this and this. And I'm threatening a back ranker. Computer's not going to like this. It's going to say, black's somewhat better probably. But it looks really interesting. And in a fast game, I might prefer to be white. Hello, Artem. Thank you for tuning in. Shout out to Artem and Vera. -5 or something? That seems kind of harsh. -5 is a lot. But you might be right. You never know. I don't know. Let's just take and take here. I'm just kind of banking on Black's king being weak in the long run. I mean, if ever I get a knight involved on like one of these squares, could be trouble. Oh, thank you, Dave. Are you rooting for me now? Or are you rooting for Mr. Owl? Never resign when you have a knight. Very good. That's a good use of your first time chat. I like it. That is wise words. You're rooting for whoever sacks the queen. Okay, I'm in your good graces then. Very good. John, what do you recommend against the Alekhine's defense? Every time I try the 4 pawns attack, things fall apart for me. Yeah, it's a great question. I usually just play like the e5, d4, knight f3 variation. I sometimes like to throw in the early bishop c4. A la the famous game Short versus Timon, like the Immortal King Walk game, if you look that up. I like how White played that game. Okay, Black is dangerously low on time here. Got to be careful. I'm trying to set it up like this and this. It's a dilemma for Black. Like, do you take that pawn? Because there's still going to be problems with the king even when you do. All right, so Black decides to take, but where to hide the king now? Looking a little bit sketch. Okay, check. Let me think. Knight c6, knight b5. I'm swarming now with the knights. Do knights swarm? Let's check here. I'll try to reserve this square for the other knight. King b6 gets instantly GG'd. This is interesting. I feel like this might be the move. Kind of weird, but I'm trying to go b4 and like really break Black's back here. Open it up. Queen takes c4, I'm not worried about. I would love that because of bishop e2. Ooh. Yeah, Black's getting encircled here. Loses the queen. That's just a panic move and time pressure. And now we're up a rook. It's going to be all over soon. Attack the pawn. Okay, thank you, Ola, for the game. Appreciate it. Yeah, interesting little situation after I sacked the queen. So in the opening, you did kind of waste a move with queen e4, although I think you recovered fairly well. Possible around here, I didn't play it the best. Let's see what the computer thinks. Yeah, massive eval for White. Wants me to just build up here a little more. This or h3. So probably it's going to ding me for d5. Yeah, it doesn't like it. Still substantially better for White. Queen a4. I got to keep that in mind because that does make sense in terms of this. And it must work because after this, take here. I take, if you take with the queen, I take your bishop. And if rook takes, knight h4. That's the magic move. There's a double attack on the bishop, also hitting the queen. Yeah, okay, so some tactics working in White's favor here. I decided to play this, which is a pretty bad move, objectively. That's like a 6-point swing. Black is better now, but it's not like the type of -1 that's easy to play. And I think you did an okay job for a while. But maybe like around here, like, yeah, a5 probably doesn't help you very much. Somewhere around here, I started picking up the speed. Oh, look at that. A3. Engine approves. John tested, engine approved. A3. Yeah, because getting in b4 would be awesome. Opens the position. Aesthetically, that felt like the correct move to play. I want to be able to recapture with the pawn. Okay, fun game. Let's try to get 2 more games in. Gunny hates me. Good luck. Yeah, that was a great night on c6, wasn't it? That was pretty awesome. Gunny, are you there? Okay. We'll have to abort this one. Asha, good luck to you. Asha PR. Are you there? Maybe not. All right. Third time's a charm. Alexei. Okay, we played one game before. Yeah, I remember you being tough. Let's do it. Let's rock and roll. I'll play knight f3. I don't feel like allowing the Nimzo Indian. We'll just play into a QGD instead. Thanks, everyone, for tuning in today. We still have one more game to go after this one, so we're not ending right away. C5, very early C5. All right, I'm going to take here. And then, assuming E takes D5, which one do I recapture? Or take in general? Do I take that? Okay, black plays that one, so I'm going to take here now. This feels a little suspect for black. I don't quite buy this approach. I'm going to take... We'll take here. Okay, so rook c1. Black does have queen a5. But even still, that looks like a nice little endgame for me. I'm going to play it. There's also queen b4, I guess. Same thing. I don't know if this is going to be a massive advantage for me, but it feels pretty nice. I feel like this is some 19th century or early 20th century chess. Like, I remember a game Floor versus Capablanca with the same structure, but I think this is an improved version for white. This is pretty nice. You got the knight blockading the pawn. I'm ready to double. Black's going to have a hard time keeping this together. Rook d6, b4. Okay, there, I can probably swipe the pawn on d5. Can probably take this. I don't think there's any discoveries to speak of because I've got my king on a dark square. Yeah, if you look up the game Floor versus Capablanca, that's like the archetype for this bishop versus knight with black having an isolated pawn. It's dangerous for black, although Capablanca managed to save that game. Position looks familiar. I've seen it in a book or a podcast. I actually have a video on that particular game. So I don't know if that's where you've seen it maybe, but I have covered that. Okay, bishop c6. Now we'll go f3, I think. Start pushing back on the light squares a little bit. Don't be too afraid when your opponent has a bishop of one color. Don't just automatically try to put everything opposite the bishop. You might want to push back against them on the same color complex. Let's go here. Further, furthering that concept, making sure I have pawns on light squares. And now I'm going to threaten to take here. Probably check and then take the bishop, and then we'll be up 2 pawns. Easy win from here. Black has no counterplay to speak of. It's not super easy, but I should get this done. No problem. Was that one of your real-life board videos? It was not, no. It was, I think the context of that video is I was reviewing a student's game where they got into like a very similar structure to that game in question. Let's go here. Rook d7. Start inching forward now, b4. If king g6, I have e5. Inch forward. All black can do is wait. They're extremely passive here. I might go like G3 and F4 as well. I think I kind of like that. Or H4 even. Really, the only thing active black can attempt is this, but I think the window for even trying that is closed now. Let's go H4. Break up the structure a little bit. I can improve the king further if I want. Let's play F4, though. You can try to make like all the improving moves here, basically. Now probably bring up the king. Check. We'll go king C5. Black is stuck. Play A5. Yeah, I guess I could have done this earlier too, like B6 at this point. Just thinking if there's any way black can resist. Let's do this one. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put the rook on E6, where it also guards this pawn, and then we're going to play B6. And now king D5. And we're going to break the plane. Some Lucena-like ideas here. Push. This is coming. There we go. All right. Thanks for the game, Alexei. Yeah, I think that endgame, kind of unpleasant. Maybe you have a chance early on to try to resist here, but rook C5 is a nasty move. Ooh, yeah, this is really bad for black, apparently. +3. Better structure for white. King's closer to the center. Bad bishop versus good knight. Yeah, sometimes these positions are holdable. Like if you get all the rooks off the board, that's what Capablanca did in that game. And then he put his pawns on dark squares. You might be able to hold it. But I think as played, it's already a little too active for me. Interesting here. So really dings you on bishop D7. Doesn't like that move at all. Knight D8 or sacrificing the pawn D4 is apparently better. Okay, thanks for the game. That was an instructive one. All right, you guys know what time it is. It's the final game of the session. We're going blindfold style. Anyone has this option. Now, I know what you guys are going to ask. You're going to ask, is anyone's board just showing a blank board, no pieces, or is it just me? And it's just you. Just kidding. This is intentional. We're going to play whoever we can. Blindfold. So it's not like a true blindfold game because I can see the moves on the right-hand side, although I try not to look at them. Also, there is the notation, and I can see indicated by the highlights where my opponent last played. So I'm playing black here. White played E4. But it's close enough to a blindfold game. And good luck to Fabio. Alpin Sicilian. So again, we're trying to challenge that pawn on D4 or on E4 straight away. Oh, hey, what's up, Bowler? Yeah, good to see you in Charlotte. That was awesome. Bowler CSGO was at the tournament. Attended my lectures and the Blitz stuff. So thank you. This is yet another game where white is not going D4 very quickly. Yeah, and again, white plays C4. I don't think that's the right approach. I don't really like this. I played queen D6 in that other game. I'll do it again. We shall do it again. Okay, knight F6. Yeah, because I just think with this D4 square being weak, it's hard for white to generate much here. Backward D pawn as well. Okay, queen B3, interesting. Probably just rook B8. I'm not walking into bishop F4 because that square's not guarded, right? I have my queen covering. Plays knight B5. Okay. Go here. Oh, but now knight f4, bishop f4 is playable, but I think I can sidestep. Yeah, should be okay. Let's go here. Guard c7. Yeah, this is not the most viewer-friendly. I completely know what you mean there. If you want to watch the game, you can go and follow me on Lichess. Then you'll see the board. Okay, my plan is to take f3 and hop my knight into d4. But white will be attacking b7 when I do that. So let's hold off on that for the moment. Castle. At some point, I might do that, though. Oh, very nice bowler. That's a great result. Okay, let's keep the bishop. Again, I kind of want to take and go here, but the pawn hangs at the end. Queen takes b7. Okay, so maybe now I will do it. White voluntarily played queen c2, so I think this is the time to capture and go here, because white can't defend the bishop. It's held by the pawn, but they're going to have to take back with the pawn and mess up their structure quite a bit. And so we'll take that. We'll go here. I see the position pretty clearly. 2 minor pieces each, 2 rooks and a queen. I'm somewhat better here. It's nothing decisive yet, but it's a comfortable advantage. Let's look for a queen trade. Most importantly, I'm way up on the clock. That's crucial when you're playing blindfold. You do not want to play blindfold time scrambles. Trust me. Yeah, John has lost his marbles. He's clicking around on an empty board. Yeah, thank you, Steven, for tuning in. Thanks, everyone, for tuning in today. I'm going to be gone for next Lichess plays next week as well. I will be in Arizona. But then we should be able to resume with regularity thereafter through the holidays. Slight chance I'm able to do it next week, but I don't think so because I will be occupied. Is white going to go d4? Plays f4. All right. But that bishop is looking a little trapped, you know? Let's go here. Threatening f6. That bishops often do not do well when they're trying to be outposted in the center. Okay, knight e2, good move. Let's go here. I'm going to try to entice white to play d4 to defend the pawn. Okay, it goes there, but now f6. White can save the bishop. It's going to go there. But then I'll take here. Yeah, I'll capture the pawn. 10 seconds left. We're up a pawn. This is falling apart for white. Up 2 pawns now. Just trade it all down. I can take here, right? Yeah. I think white blundered there at the end. I thought for a second white had taken with the rook. But they did take with the knight. But yeah, they were losing anyways. Okay, thanks for the game there, Fabio. Again, not a big fan of this c4 move. You should be playing d4 early. Yeah, so d4, you can see in the Masters database, that's the main move here. Just right from the jump. As soon as black plays queen takes d5, go ahead and do this. Now, you have to be comfortable playing with an isolated pawn if you go for this, because I can take at any moment. But that's okay. Like, your knight gets to c3. That's the gist of it. White plays for activity in this opening. Yeah, thank you, West. Appreciate it. How do we do on accuracy in this one? Let's see. I think it's still analyzing. When Lichess analyzes a game, it works backwards to the starting point in the game, interestingly. So you can see the numbers changing as you go. I think that was decent. I didn't notice anything majorly that I did wrong there. Doesn't like queen d4, but that's okay. All right. Thank you guys once again for tuning in today. That was a blast, as always. Some good games there. Some close calls. I hope you all have a great week. I'm sure we're going to be rating someone here. Thanks to the mods, Lopare, also No Joke Chess in the chat. And make sure you try out all the features on Lichess. Check out the broadcasts. So if you go to watch and then broadcasts, you can see all of the recent tournaments going on. You can click into them. Like here's the FIDE women's candidates pool. You can click through and see the games. Very neat, very neat and organized. I was trying to like combine those words. Also, check out the study tool. I'm a big fan of this. There are studies for almost everything: openings, middle games, end games, tactics. It's really impressive. Many of these are publicly available, and you can create studies yourself. So make sure you guys use all these features that have been coded into Lichess, which is, as always, completely free. Thanks, Hypesor. All right. Wishing you guys a good week. Yeah, the Grob. Grob study. Love it. Take care, everyone. Be well. And I'll see you guys probably in a couple weeks. All right. Take care.